Why is it that in moments of chaos, unexpected crises, conflict, loss of control, when others spiral, panic, or emotionally collapse, you steady yourself almost instantly, slipping into a mode of response that feels automatic? Why is it that uncertainty, pressure, and warning signs rarely seem to break you? As if these conditions are strangely familiar, something you've seen before, something your body already knows how to handle. And why is it that when you look back on your own life, you notice how perceptive and deeply empathetic you are, yet how rarely you speak about your own pain, needs, or fears? As if those parts of you were placed somewhere far away, long ago. If any of this feels familiar to you, then today's conversation is not about praising your mental strength, and it's not about labeling this as maturity or resilience. What we're talking about is a psychological reality that is still widely misunderstood. When someone has endured too much, their brain, their nervous system, and their way of relating to the world are forced to change in order to survive. And whether those changes are still protecting you or quietly draining you long before you realize it. When something suddenly goes wrong, you're often the first person to stabilize. A meeting derails, a relationship turns tense, life throws an unexpected problem. While others become overwhelmed, emotionally flooded, mentally scattered, you shift into clarity, assessing the situation, organizing information, figuring out what needs to happen next. This doesn't mean you feel no fear. It means your brain is not unfamiliar with disorder. Psychology refers to this response as survival calm. It's not a personality trait, it's an adaptation formed in environments where uncertainty was constant. When someone repeatedly lives through conflict, instability, or situations where control can vanish at any moment, the brain learns a simple rule: emotional collapse does not increase safety. Clarity does. So you learn to suppress emotion quickly and direct attention toward action. In the workplace, this makes you appear dependable, rational, unshakable. In relationships, you often become the one who contains the situation, the one who manages the fallout. But what often goes unnoticed is this: your calm is not rooted in safety. It is rooted in familiarity with danger. You respond quickly and think clearly, not because you are naturally at ease, but because your system learned early on. Chaos does not wait for hesitation, and staying alert once kept you alive. Long-term exposure to instability doesn't just change how you think. It changes how your nervous system works. Psychological research shows that when a person repeatedly experiences threat, emotional volatility, or unpredictable relationships, the brain adapts at a structural and functional level. The amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for detecting danger, becomes highly sensitive. At the same time, the systems responsible for relaxation, safety, and recovery struggle to fully activate. What this means is simple: your response to potential risk is almost always faster than most people's. In the workplace, you notice shifts in tone before others do. In relationships, you pick up on subtle changes in expression, energy, or distance. Before a problem is openly visible, you're already adjusting yourself. This isn't paranoia. It's a survival system that was trained under pressure. Psychology often refers to this state as hypervigilance, a nervous system that stays alert because early experience taught it one rule: detect danger early or pay the price later. The problem is that this system is not very good at distinguishing past threat from present reality. So even when your environment becomes relatively safe, your body remains on guard. You're not unwilling to relax. Your brain was simply never taught when it is truly safe to stand down. When you enter a room, you don't just notice what's happening. You notice who's uneasy, who's holding back, whose silence feels heavier than usual. Psychology describes this ability as high emotional scanning. It's often mistaken for natural sensitivity. But more often, it's a skill learned in unstable environments. When you once had to read the room to stay safe, your nervous system learned an important strategy. Stabilize others first. De-escalate the situation. Keep the emotional climate from tipping. Your own feelings can wait. So at work, you become the mediator, the one smoothing tension before it erupts. In close relationships, you instinctively lower your needs, saying, "It's fine," with ease. This doesn't mean you don't need care. It means your system remembers that expressing need once came with consequences. In psychology, this pattern is often called over-empathic adaptation. You're highly attuned to others, yet disconnected from your own needs. You understand people deeply, but struggle to let yourself fully exist in the relationship. Over time, you become easy to be around, but inside, a quiet emptiness grows. Because when you always take care of others first, you're often the last person anyone checks in on, including yourself. What exhausts you most isn't a single traumatic event. It's the fact that your alertness never fully shuts down. On the surface, your life may look stable. Your work functions. Your relationships appear normal. Nothing is obviously wrong, but internally, your body remains on standby. Psychology refers to this state as chronic high arousal. Your nervous system isn't resting. It's constantly prepared to respond. You rehearse worst-case scenarios before anything has actually gone wrong. You stay one step ahead, just in case. Even in safe relationships, full relaxation feels unfamiliar, because your body learned early on that safety was conditional, not guaranteed. Over time, this state becomes costly, not in dramatic ways, but in subtle, cumulative ones. You feel tired even after resting. Your attention drifts more easily. Your emotions flatten, not from numbness, but from overuse. You're still functioning, but your ability to recover is steadily weakening. Psychological research shows that people who remain stuck in survival mode are not lacking resilience. They're exhausted from never being allowed to truly rest. The most hidden effect is this: you begin to treat tension as normal. And when calm finally appears, it can feel unsettling, because your nervous system never learned what safety is supposed to feel like without danger attached. This isn't a personal failure. It's a system that adapted too well to a world that no longer exists. There's something few people ever tell you. Your calm, your sharp awareness, your emotional control are not simply personality traits. They are systems you were forced to build during a time when survival mattered more than comfort. And those systems worked. They protected you. They carried you through chaos, uncertainty, and instability. The question is not whether they were effective. The question is whether, now that the danger has passed, your body is still living as if it hasn't. Psychology calls this survival mode. It makes you quicker, more perceptive, more restrained, but it also makes it harder to relax, harder to rely on others, harder to admit that you need care. Relearning safety doesn't mean tearing down your defenses overnight. It means slowly learning to tell the difference between real danger and old memory. It looks like speaking honestly with people who have earned your trust, setting boundaries when something feels wrong, allowing yourself to pause when you're tired. You no longer have to prove strength by saying, "I'm fine" or "I can handle it." You deserve care. You deserve response. You deserve gentleness. You're allowed to feel uncertain, to feel soft, to not know the next step. That isn't weakness. It's the first time you're allowing something beyond survival to exist in your life. Ease, connection, rest, joy, without justification. This is Felix. May you understand yourself a little more deeply and treat the growing version of you with patience and kindness. See you next time.